Here we have some clematis that my wife got them as a present from some of her friends and planted it against this archway, and flowers are just coming out now. They're quite beautiful. I like it. Some more blue flowers, geraniums, beaten down by the rain a little bit. They're nice as well. Thought I would grow some carrots in these root pouches. So these are supposed to be early carrots, and you can see here that they've sprouted and come up. Just next to it, I hadn't planted any dill, so I've planted that in there, and they're up as well. And over here, this is, you see that sweet basil. So they've all sprouted. The Greek basil hasn't done anything. And this is the lime basil. And a few of them have come up as well. And then here is some more curly kale. Not kale, parsley, sorry. So, and they're just breaking through now. And I've got some special zucchini courgette, which is supposed to be good for small containers. And they were all planted at the same time. But when you look at them, the one at the end here is much bigger and stronger. It could be that it's because it gets the sunlight in the morning, and also sunlight in the evening more than these ones. This one here. But we're just beginning to put out some flowers down in there. So that's the zucchinis in the root pouches, which do air pruning. The mare's tail, or the goat's beard, depending on which part of the world you live in, is in full flower. It's, I don't know, about 2 meters tall now. The top flowers there. Quite majestic and nice looking. Here we have some lilies. I think they might be tiger lilies? I'm not sure. And behind it, another geranium with sort of indigo or sort of purple flowers. This is usually, it lasts much more sturdy plant and stands up better to the rain. Flowers are smaller. It does well under this big birch tree. You see, this is just a clump of gravel here, and they seem to do well in very, very poor soil. Hardly any nutrition from that gravel, but a nice little clump of flowers. This is some rhizomes I got from Jay down in Germany, of a very special plant called yakon, which is with a very sweet root. And I had it started it off in the springtime down in the grow room, and I thought that I would pinch out the tops, and now you can see that underneath here that I'm getting more growth coming from different nodes down the bottom. So it's a much more compact and sturdy looking plant than I would have expected. So pinching out really sort of seems to work. It seems to cause the growth to come from the nodes. So that might be a good tip to follow. I'm growing them in pots, and we'll see what we get out of it at the end of the season. This is my chili bucket. It's got Gary Entropy's Thai chilies round about the edge, and in the centre there it's a Thor F1 chili, which is just beginning to have its first flowers there. So these are growing outside, and if the weather gets hotter, then I'm hopeful that I might get some chilies from them. This tomato is a Roma tomato, and it's just beginning to put out flowers now. It's growing outside again. There's a little one here. It's a Thai tomato, and next to it is one that I got from a lady over in Alaska, which is supposed to have a very short growing day. I have a few tubs here with tomatoes in them, and they're all looking rather nice. I think these are determinate tomatoes, so you just let them go. Leaves are a bit close to the soil, so I'll have to be taking those lower leaves off. There's another one over here. This looks like a Roma tomato as well. That big shaped leaf there, big flowers. So, and here, look at this. I think this must be the most northern grape. I planted it about a week ago, and I came down and I discovered that it's got some little flowers on there. It's called, yeah, Vinicaunus Britta. It's supposed to go from zone 1, which is down in Helsinki, to zone 5, which is away up in Tornio or Rovaniemi. So I don't know if it'll last the winter. It gives those sort of, what type of grapes would you say? Not green, not black, in between. And my beans, field beans, have just come into flower. They're quite tall. Last year I grew those certain dwarfs which are very short, but I didn't get very many beans on them. But these ones, this year, I don't know, perhaps about 1 metre tall. And got lots of flowers on them, so I'm expecting a good harvest from them. That's my garlic. Needs weeding. Next to it, shallots, which are just beginning to bulb up now. And then next to it, my onions, and they're about perhaps the size of a golf ball at the moment. So this rain that we've been having has been good for it, I think. Parsnips. Now, lots of failure to germinate. It's always a problem with parsnips, germinating them. But I think I'm going to get a few. And that was some, what do you call it, garlic that I didn't pull out last year, or it's come up again. Some red romaine lettuce, which I just pull out and thin. These are my potatoes. I should stand back so you can see them. The first row is a lapinpuikula, and you can see that the stems are very long and tall growth habit, and they're beginning to get some little flowers on the top. It's only one row of lapinpuikula, and then next to it is the sikli, and they do not have any flowers on them at all. Someone told me that it doesn't flower, the sikli. They're looking pretty healthy. And then down here is the Rosamunda red potato, and it's in flower. I just saw Dave saying I should go along and pick off the flowers so that all the energy goes down. I may do it with that first row over there, see if there's any difference. As you can see, there's lots of flowers all over the place. Bindweed, so it's everywhere. Here we have Halvar from Norway's monastery bean. It's climbing up. It's going up this pole. There it is. It's reached the top. So that must be a good 2 meters now. Whereas here, these are the Cherokee Trail of Tears. It looks a pretty healthy plant, but it's only up as high as the netting. It hasn't sort of climbed as fast and as quick as the monastery bean, but I suppose that monastery bean was cultivated or selected for growing in northern conditions and growing quickly. Sweet corn, I just shoved it in there, and here I'm growing this squash up the trellis as well, and it's quite big. This is supposed to be the Three Sisters garden, where you grow squash, corn and beans all together. And you can see here there's little flowers beginning to come on that squash. There is nothing finer than the glow of rhubarb early in the morning in the sunshine. This rhubarb is just establishing itself. It's called red champagne, and we've had about 4 or 5 crumbles from these 3 plants now. Some people say you shouldn't pick them late in the season, but I have been doing it, and they seem to be doing well. And over here there's another squash. I think there might be a butternut squash, or it might be the Hokkaido. I'm not sure. This is the other one. This is either the butternut or the Hokkaido here. There's a big difference in how they're growing. And that there is borage, which gives nice blue flowers. This is my northern giant blackcurrant, and the berries on it, compared to normal blackcurrant berries, are about twice the size of the berries, and it's absolutely laden down with berries. I'll have to get a netting on these, because the birds will come along and just snap them up. So this is a really good plant. But highly recommended if you can get it. It's called Northern Giant. Perhaps it's only specific to Finland, but it gives you good big berries. Compared to, these are the normal ones here. This is a Swedish cultivar. And half the size, quarter of the size. That there is my red currants. They've come on well. And big long trusses of fruit on it, so they need to be getting a net over them soon. Stop the blackbirds and thrushes from getting in there and eating them all. You see here, this is a wilderness, an absolute wilderness of strawberry plants with flowers all over the place, and you would imagine that you would get the most fantastic harvest from all these flowers and all these strawberry plants. But for some reason I never get any strawberries off this. They must be too old or something. If anybody could ever explain to me why strawberries don't develop from these flowers, then I would like to know. Can you imagine how many strawberries you would get if all these flowers developed into strawberries? But I get nothing, absolutely nothing from them. And I'll leave you with some photographs of these daisy type flowers. Some of them are this pink colour, but then all of a sudden, boom, you get a red one as well. So they're past their best now, but they were glorious when they first came out. And over there, some foxgloves, digitalis. And this one here is hyssop. It'll have blue flowers. Purge me with hyssop and I shall be purified. Now there's a reference. Why is it that hyssop should purify you? And here we have that oswego, or bee's balm, which will just be coming into flower soon.